The first points race of the 2001 NASCAR Winston Cup Series season is here at Daytona Beach, Florida, at the Daytona National Speedway for the running of the Daytona 500. The biggest race in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series is the first race of the season. It is like the Super Bowl of stock car auto racing, and we'll see which of these 42 drivers can claim victory in this big race. I'm joined once again in the booth by three-time NASCAR Winston Cup Series champion and 1993 Daytona 500 champion Trey Bardo. Trey, when you won this race back in 1993, it was your only time winning it, but what was it like? How special was it winning this great American race?
Oh my goodness, I feel like I won the Super Bowl, the Stanley Cup, the World Cup, anything. I mean, this was something to win here. The celebration was all week long. I don't think I was the best following race, Joe. I'm going to be honest with you. I think I was a little hungover.
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen to whoever wins this race. But as you mentioned, it is going to be one heck of a party for whoever wins this one. Keegan Thompson saw that last season as he claimed victory in his first ever NASCAR Winston Cup Series race. He now starts on pole for this Daytona 500, so we'll see if he can try and bring it home for glory in the second straight season in the first race of the season. It is a beautiful day for racing here in Daytona Beach, Florida. 75 degrees is the temperature here in Daytona Beach. Just a calm wind in the south direction and no chance of rain, which is what we like to see whenever we come to a race at Daytona. As we also look at some of the track facts, 2.5 miles in length, the track located in Daytona Beach, Florida. The turns bank 31 degrees so they can stay flat-footed all throughout. 18 degrees of banking in the trial, and then the front stretch and the back stretch both banked 3 degrees. In the past 5 Daytona 500 winners, you have Derek Bouchard did it back in 1996. In 1997, it went to Trey Rainey. 1998 to Nat Wagner. In 99, it was Jeff Bright. And in 2000, it was Keegan Thompson. So Trey, the past 2 Daytona 500s, they went to the Hendrick Motorsports number 5 team. Will that trend continue here this season in 2001?
I mean, I could definitely see it. I mean, this kid, he's hot. Almost won the championship last season, but I mean, he won it to a pretty good driver, so maybe he'll get it this time. Could he get another 500? It'd be cool to see, but I know there's a lot of other drivers out there that want to take that away from him.
Yeah, and I mean, especially you look at the second row, right? Behind the front row, which was 2 big names that qualified really well. The second row, drivers that raced their way into that second row spot by winning their duels. Some of the smaller teams, obviously Nathan Baird for Morgan McClure Motorsports, a very small organization. He won duel number 1. Jay Randall won duel number 2. Great to see those drivers do well. Bippy Ruiz did well in his duel. He starts 6th in this race. The Hendrick cars all start inside the top 10. The DI cars faded in their duel race, but they can try and now come back up to the front, and we'll see who gets to the front at the end of 40 laps here in the 2001 Daytona 500. Without further ado, let's go on tracks and get the most famous words in motorsports to fire the engines up for the 2001 Daytona 500.
Drivers, start your engines!
And there roll off the 42 cars to do battle, 21 rows deep here for the great American race, the Daytona 500, and a lot of storylines to go through in this one. We mentioned it in the duel tray. Brett Zero, his first race back since injury at the Lowe's Motor Speedway in his terrible crash on the front stretch where he went tumbling and got hit in the door and got hit while he was upside down. And Trey, it's great to see Brett back, and he's starting 8th here. Had a great run in his duel. What do you expect to see out of Brett here in the Daytona 500?
I mean, in all honesty, maybe a little bit of nerves. I mean, this is one track to come back to after a serious injury, like you just mentioned. So, I mean, it might take him a couple laps to, get back up to where he was before that happened. But I think, him in the HMS car, he can really be a big competitor here today.
Yeah, he starts in 8th in that 25 car. To go a little bit further back, also on the outside row, Chris Jericho on the 18. This 18 team, won the Daytona 500 not too long ago with Trey Rainey behind the wheel. As mentioned in the duels, you and Trey Rainey were at each other's throats for most of the time. Whenever he got first in the championship, you got second. Whenever you got first in the championship, he was second. But now Chris Jericho behind the wheel in the 18, and we'll see if he can try and carry that 18 to the same success, Trey.
Yeah, we'll have to definitely see if he can. Big shoes to fill for Chris Jericho, but I mean, only time will tell to see if he's going to be able to fill them.
And then also on the inside, Anthony Nez in the 1 qualified 3rd on speed. However, the duel did not go his way. He'll be starting mid-pack. Can that DI driver find his way to the front, Trey?
I mean, he's got his teammate right above him, so maybe at some point they'll get, right behind each other and work their way up front. We'll have to see what happens.
Nathan Strickland also only 2 rows in front of them, so we'll see if the DEI cars can try and get together, form a bond, form a pact, and get to the front. But at the front, it's 2 of our heavy hitters, Keegan Thompson for Hendrick Motorsports, Mathis Wells for Jericho racing behind them. 2 smaller guys, Nathan Baird and Jay Rando. Conrad Evans completes the top 5 for the start of the 2001 Daytona 500. The Great American Race is underway from Daytona. We had seen in that first duel, Keegan Thompson got out front. He didn't really want to let go in the first 10 laps, but already Nathan Baird's going to challenge him to the inside for the lead. So Morgan McCord Motorsports, Nathan Baird is going to be big for him because he wants those 5 bonus points for the lap because he might not be in contention for the championship. Every point he can get here, try and keep him inside the top 35 in owners points. Once we get to the end of race 5, then you start determining the field based off those points.
Yeah, I mean, it really makes you wonder, these guys saw how powerful that 5 was during his duel. I mean, they're probably going to do whatever they can in their power to keep him away from the lead here, and putting him up top already this early, it might be a good idea for everyone else.
Not only that 5, but someone in duel number 2 that, was on fire when he got out front, Jay Rando. You don't want to let that 22 get out front. We saw at the end of his duel, once he got the lead, he was gapping them by 2-3 car lengths, so you don't want something like that to happen towards the end of this one, and already they're stacked up 3x3 trade. This is only lap number 2, and it's a rush hour traffic at 109 miles an hour on the interstate.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't think we'd see any wrecks, and the duels, we saw 2 in the first one. I mean, this is a 500. These guys are going to go twice as hard, if not more, than they did in their duels. So for them going 3 wide already, I don't know how I feel about it, Joe. Might be a little iffy.
Yeah, and definitely you want to be towards the front in case something does happen early on in this one. Mitch Corbett goes for a second, another one of those smaller teams, NASCAR Motorsports, but they found their footing at the end of last season. In fact, at North Wilkesboro, whenever we had some issues happen, both their cars end up inside the top 5, right behind you, Trey. So it was great to see that smaller team last season get a really good result towards the end. It looks like they carried the momentum decently well into the 2001 season.
Yeah, I mean, we've mentioned it, all week long that tracks like these are a great time for, lower teams to get good spotlight here and show that they have power on super speedways like this. So it's not normal to, see lower teams up here and even win some races.
So look from the helicopter cam. Oh, they're wrecking in the back, Trey. They're wrecking in the back.
We're only 3 laps in, Joe. It's only, it only looks like a 2-car wreck, the 33 and maybe a 4 or 5 car wreck. Not sure. Only a couple cars. The 22 has big damage on the back end.
That's our Gatorade duel number 2 winner involved in this one. This was only lap number 3, Trey. This was the completion of lap number 3. We already have issues. Luckily, it was towards the back of the field, but obviously disappointing for the drivers involved. This early on to this big race, the biggest race of the season, you're already taken out of it.
Yeah, that's just heartbreaking. I mean, we would have to assume it was a 4-wide situation. I mean, that seems to be the cause of everything this weekend so far, but I guess we'll have to look at the replays to see it. But, I mean, Eli Bright's leading this thing at the moment, so we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, Eli Bright leads this one. He'll get some good laps led here under the yellow flag. They won't have to pit, so he'll be able to cut away and show you what happened. Caution flag number 1 out early on. The Daytona 500, a crash towards the back of the field, collects numerous cars. This scenario for the wreck started all the way back in turns 3 and 4, Trey. Benny Lynn behind Bibby Ruiz is going to cut underneath the 92 in between with the 43 as well. And that creates the 4-wide scenario, which is never good at a track like Daytona. You can maybe hold it at Talladega because it's just a little bit wider. Here at Daytona, 3 wide is definitely the max. You can maybe make 4 work at some points, but when it's something like this, it's just not going to work. Then you have Kennington rubbing up against Roberto Crown Jr. You have Benny Lynn in the middle. They start to come off the racetrack. Roberto Crown gets tipped into Ruiz, into Rando, hard into the outside wall, and a terrible impact for those drivers. Look at Atkins getting low. Look at Matthew Burnett and Jacob Boyd. Burnett narrowly squeaks by. Lathan Strickland may have somehow found a way through it, as we had some very close calls here in this wreck, Trey.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it was just 4 wide, and that never ends up working out for these guys. And right here, it bit a couple of drivers. See the 26 all the way down low. Don't know if he was trying to avoid someone. He almost cut off the car going into pit road.
Yeah, Baby Rose was like, where are you coming from? I didn't think you were going to be down there. But let's take a look at another angle of this one and show it at full speed. Here's that 4-wide scenario, Trey, and take us through it.
I mean, again, 4 wide situation right here. That 43 even got air underneath that car. That was such a hard hit. But luckily, like we said, I mean, only 2 cars spun out. A couple more got damaged, but I mean, that could have been a lot worse, especially if it was farther up the pack.
Yeah, I think the cars that were able to get away that got damaged were obviously Ruiz, who came down pit road. Strickland got hit to the wall pretty good, and obviously Jericho knows that rear end damage on that 22. We'll see how badly that affects the 22, the 15, and the 92. Obviously, we have to assume that the 43 and some of the others involved, like the 33, they might have some pretty good damage and might be out of the running early on for the Daytona 500. Eli Bright for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. Dale Lightning, the team has to love seeing this. Budweiser number 8 leads the going here at Daytona. Coming back green to the 2001 Daytona 500. We're under 10 laps completed here, and Eli Bright, car number 8, leads the way over the 45 of Ryan Wilson. Out for the crash, Baby Ruiz will be done. His Daytona 500 hopes unfortunately dashed early on. Roberto Carr Jr. still running in the 43 along with Benny Lynn, the 33, 22 of Randall, and some of the others that were towards the back. So we'll see how badly the damage impacts them. Interesting to note, Trey, Chris Jericho came down pit road under the yellow flag. He'll restart back in the 38th position, but behind some damaged cars like Strickland. We'll see if that 18 can try and get through the pack.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens there. I wonder why he went down there. Maybe felt something off in his car or something. But like you said, we'll have to see how he can manage those damaged cars and hopefully stay with this front pack.
So you have Eli Bright, the 8 car leading. Then you have the 45 of Wilson in second. Jordan Stout up to third. Riley Spurtube is fourth, and Conrad Evans is fifth. They have Zidell in sixth. Hernandez, another DEI car, in seventh. Mitch Corbett is eighth. Noah Clifton up to ninth, and Brett Sierra, around where he started, in the 10th position. The pace car ready to dive onto pit road, set to restart on lap number 8, and it's car number 8 leading the way at Daytona. Eli Bright ready to step on the gas, get going. His father won this race in 1999. Green flag back in the air at Daytona.
I mean, off the restart already, you can already see these drivers getting spread out everywhere, top side, low side, middle. I mean, you would want to think they want to stay in line. We're 7 laps in, we already had a wreck. Apparently, it didn't scare them at all.
Yeah, these drivers are ready to go. They want to lead every lap, Trey, and I think that's the mentality of a race car driver. You would know it. Lead every lap, try and get every bonus point you can get out of the day.
I mean, I like leading laps. It makes me feel good, but again, part of me was also like, well, this might be, you know, the mature part of me now, but I want to keep my car clean and not risk it, especially if I have the title of the Daytona 500 on the line.
Yeah, I mean, you know from last season, right? It could go awry. It's not even your fault. You know, it could go awry in a hurry.
Yeah, I can say that. I was driving fine 1 minute. Next minute, I was up on my side, and I didn't want to look back on that one.
Yeah, and here's Conrad Evans, who also had a scary crash at the Super Speedway last season at Talladega. He actually went for a crazy ride upside down. Luckily, he was okay after. He was able to continue on racing after that. But Evans up to second now. Obviously, that crash didn't phase him at these Super Speedways. He was still going hard in that 31, pushing Jordan Stout away as the front few are starting to get single file. Will it stay like this, or will someone poke out to make the move? Here comes Nathan Baird in the 60 to the inside.
It just says, oh, and here comes the 24 and the 31, but Conrad Evans thought better of that move. But you know, here comes the 24, like I just said on the bottom, Justin Zidell, but the 6 is going to come down and block him, but he has a 60 of Nathan Baird right behind him as well.
And here comes Zidell's teammate Brett Sierra making the move to the inside on the 1 and the 31. Here comes Mitchell Collins, who won the last time we were at Daytona. It was the night race, but he still won. He knows how to get down this type of racing. And here comes Walker Davis, made in based on speed into the Daytona 500. It wasn't based on his dual result. It all came down to the last second for that number 19 of Walker Davis, but here he's now in the show and making good of it, moving up 4th on the inside lane, that 19.
I was gonna say, Judd, didn't that was your car, but didn't he wreck out in first duel?
Yeah, he did, and you know, luckily the backup car looks just as good as the primary, and obviously they had a practice to work on it, so I think he's good to go.
How's your wallet feel?
It's a little bit lighter.
Well, hopefully it doesn't get any lighter. It might get a little heavier though if your guys here have a good run, and it looks like your driver, the 19, is gonna possibly making a move for the lead here. Ooh. And he got there in the inside.
And Brett Sierra trying to get down low, but he'll lead the 10th lap. But you have the 19 to the inside trying to make it work. He has help from the 55 of Roger Ray towards the back. Lathan Strickland may have held up Chris Jericho, and both might be losing the draft. The 18, the 15 towards the back.
I was just looking at the back there. They looked a little farther back than they might want to be, but I mean, if these guys keep it racy up here and those guys can settle it out back there, they might have a chance to catch it back up, but you know, time only tells.
Jericho, I think, is going to catch on. You can see that 32 maybe lagging back a little bit. I think he's going to catch on to the draft because of that.
Well, I mean, hopefully he does, but we'll have to see. Like we both noticed, he started behind those damaged cars on this restart here, so it looks like he is able to get back onto lead pack, so that keeps his hopes up.
Yeah, it looks like that 26 losing the draft along with the 15. Then we had some more towards the back that really lost it. Yeah, the 33, 43, and 22 are very slow and off the pace, and if it stays green, Trey, lap traffic, that's the big talking point.
Yeah, lap traffic is always fun, especially at a super speedway. I think everyone knows that. So we'll have to, if it does come into play here, we'll have to see how these guys manage it. And hopefully they can make it around them clean. But, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't either.
Zachary DeLello comes to the inside of that 97, moving over from Petty Enterprises. Luke Rainey, it's been a disastrous speed week for Luke Rainey. He did not do good in practice, didn't do good in qualifying, he had to rely on the 88's owner's points from last season to make it into the show, Trey. The second practice was better for the 88 team. They were top 10 there, but for Luke, you have to know that coming into this 500, he was a little nervous. He's like, is my car going to be good or not? Well, here he is inside the top 5 as we near the midpoint.
Almost like a cat losing all of his 9 lives here, but I mean, looks like he has a fast enough car to compete up front, so we'll have to see if maybe his luck turns around for the Daytona 500.
Trey, 3 Roush cars will end up on the inside. DeLello, Richardson, and Burnett. They're trying to maybe form a line here, but looks like Keyshawn's going to leave his teammate here.
Oh, I don't know how he's going to take that one over, but I mean, if you got a chance to take the lead and get some points, you might as well take it, right? It's still pretty early in the race, so I mean, friendships are everything, especially with a teammate. But when it comes down time to 10-5 to go, I don't think you have any friends out there.
Yeah, and obviously Keyshawn didn't have friends with 28 to go either. He said, I need to lead these laps. I need to get 5 bonus points here because Daytona is, a lot of people are going to get those bonus points for leading laps, and you don't want to be left out.
Yeah, I mean, everyone should take a piece here. As you can see, the 17's already starting to make the move down to the bottom. Matthew Burnett, he has a 45 with the help. The 97 got back down to the bottom, though. I don't think he's going to leave any room for Keyshawn to get back down there and help him out. And no, he's not. 17 goes up top as well.
Outside of the front row, Mathis Wells starting to come back. DeLello coming back 3 wide to the bomb. He's pulled that move now twice, and to the inside again for the lead. And here comes your old ride. Justin Atkins behind the wheel. The 29 making moves to the inside.
I'm glad to see it still has speed in it, Joe, and we'll have to see how well that 29 car can do. Like I said, I got high hopes for him. He's a rookie, but I got some pretty high hopes for that car, and I know they got a good team behind him, good pit crew, and everything there, and pretty much got all the hand-me-downs, but some pretty good hand-me-downs.
And here comes Jacob Boyd in that 21. Boyd had a really good season last season. Luckily he did, because otherwise he might not be in the show. He had to rely on his owner's points from last season to make it in, but here he is now in that Wood Brothers car leading the Daytona 500. Great to see that smaller organization back out in front in Daytona.
Do you see who's third in the bottom line?
I do. It's Keegan Thompson, Mr. Restrictor Plate from last season. 2 of the 4 Restrictor Plate races went to Keegan, and here he is now moving back on the inside. He's going to push the 71 3 wide to the bottom.
I mean, Keegan's getting aggressive, but he knows if his car gets out front there, he's one to be reckoned with, because not a lot of people can really make a move on him unless they really time it out here. And it looks like somebody's going to go up top. Is Keegan going to go bottom? The 77 got there.
77 Ronald Kennington, who was last in qualifying, missed out to race in through the duels, but luckily had enough owner's points to fall back on from last season with Sergio Akita behind the wheel. And now he moves out front. Same with Logan Williams. Same story with the 11 car. Not good in qualifying, not good in the duel, but here he is relying on the owner's points. There are now 2 single car teams lead the way in the Daytona 500.
This is getting crazy. We're getting a lot of shuffling now. Joe, look at this pack. I've never seen them so compact before in my life. I mean, this is crazy. 77's got a big lead, a car length or 2. I wonder if that's going to hurt him or not, but you look at this inside line, they're starting to catch it. Again, third on the inside line, Joe. We thought he lost the draft, but Chris Jericho, he's back up here.
Jericho is there in the 18, pushing Laura Chung to the inside the 01. Here comes the one of Anthony Nez coming back, the 24 Zidell as well. But as you mentioned, they are stacked 3 by 3 behind the front few. Jericho looks to go 3 wide for his second place, and will do so on the inside of Laura Chung. Kennington comes down to cover the spot, but there is a mad dash of cars behind our race leader, Ronald Kennington.
If I'm not mistaken, Kennington's a rookie. I mean, he's doing one hell of a job making his car 3 lanes wide for a rookie. I mean, he's doing everything he can. He's going to plug the bottom again.
Yeah, I think Jericho got such a big run. He actually got to the outside of the 77, and Kennington had to get down low, or else he was going to turn himself into the wall. So Jericho too good on the outside. It's actually going to hurt him out here, but still Kennington leads the way. Hernandez down to second, Zidell to third, Mills to fourth, and Eli right back up to fifth. And here comes the one to the inside now.
Got to run to the inside. He's going to be able to lead this lap. I don't think he's going to get there. He does, and still second, but he's got the inside line to help behind him. Looks like 7's going to peak low, but I don't think he's going to be able to get there before turn run. He doesn't.
There is some jostling just inside the top 10. Atkins was on the top side. He went down just in front of Mathews Wells, and luckily it was clear, or else it would have been a 4-wide scenario. Hernandez now leads off turn number 2. Jose Mills to second. Here comes Eli Bright, Hernandez's teammate. Will they try and get 1-2 and maybe work together? They're the only 2 DI cars left in the pack. Well, here they are. Now going for first, and second is behind them. It's starting to get a little dicey. Look at them shoving up into each other.
Joe, I don't know about you, but I feel the intensity is starting to ramp up. I don't know if that's a good feeling or not.
I don't know. For this early in the race, we're not even halfway through it. I hope it doesn't get too high up, as Eli Bright's going to abandon Hernandez.
I mean, you would think teammates, again, that's like twice now we've seen teammates, not work with each other.
Yeah, I mean, especially they had a decent lead, right? They could have easily tried to keep that lead. If they both stay in line and they keep shuffling for third behind, it could help them out. But now look they're both sent ducks here.
Watch out for this 31 again, but it looks like he's going to go up top, allow the 25, and Brett Sear back down to the bottom with the help from the 66 and 60, but looks like Brett's going to go back up. 66 now going to get a run to the inside.
Rich Corbett with help from Nathan Bear moving to the inside. Zachary Fitzwater Sr. is coming up on the inside of the 2 car from F1. Behind them might get 4 wide here. It was close. The 19 was looking to get down, but the 88 right there, the 19 did not do that. Very smart move out of Walker Davis. If not, that would have caused a 4-wide snare and definitely would have caused a crash at that point in the turn.
But luckily, they were able to settle it out there. Now maybe a little bit calmer, but I don't think that's going to be any of the 4-wide situations we have. But as we were saying, Zachary Fitzwater Sr.'s up here, the F1 champ. I think this is a little different than F1.
I think it is. And also, lap traffic. Jay Randall was slowing off the pace, and here comes the pack onto him, Trey. Good luck to the field, right?
I don't even know where they want him to go. Looks like they're going to try to dive low of him. Hopefully he stays up top going into 3 and 4 here. They're going to get to him in time. Who's going to slow up, though? Oh, they're going to split him? No, they're not.
And that really hurts the outside lane. Now you have to try and find a way to maybe put him up to the 3rd lane, right? And let 2 lanes go through instead of just 1.
He's not really making it easy for them, though.
No, he's not. Look they're going to shuffle Eli Bright out. Corbett went to the middle.
I mean, in all fairness, Eli really didn't make a move. He just kind of stalled out there. He froze. So if you're not going to make the move, Eli, I mean, they're going to make the move,
And look Eli's gotten held up. The 1 is up there now. There is a 3rd lane that is now stuck behind that 22 of Jay Brando. Hopefully, at the end of all this, they can just cycle back around, get in the draft, and then just get low, and they'll only have lost track position. They won't lose the draft, hopefully.
You would have to think so. You can see Conrad Evans trying to find his way down. He might have a lane. No, he doesn't. He goes right back up top. There's 2 RCRs, 2 DEIs in there. The 7's making a move down to the bottom.
Eli has to get down. There he goes.
Now, hopefully, they can get past this 22 now. The 1's going to stay up there. So is Conrad Evans. They're going to have to get down here pretty soon, Joe, or everyone's going to leave them.
Yeah, the 1, the 31, they are in danger now of losing the draft. They have to get down right here, right now, into turn 1. Look Evans might actually halt Hernandez from doing that.
31 got down. Now the real question is, the 1 going to be able to get down? He's going to dive down now. There he goes.
It might be too late, though. Look the 31's leaving him on corner exit.
Now the 1 has to stay behind Conrad Evans here as long as he can and try to hold his wheel as smooth as possible. Cannot touch the apron, cannot get loose or anything else to get a chance to get back into this draft, as we see this pack is all spread out now.
Yeah, and I mean, even Evans might start to lose that draft, as at the front you have Zachary Fitzwater Sr. leading. In fact, it's a lot of Fords towards the front. The 2, the 6, 17, 97, 88. All these Fords making their names known at the front of the field, as here comes Jordan Stout to the inside for the lead. As further back, you see everyone trying to get down in line to get in single file to catch this front pack quicker.
I would have to think that they got a chance to catch it, but by the time they do catch it, it might be close to the end of this thing, Joe. So it's going to be really an all-out push to make your way to the front as fast as possible.
Well, not only that, but you want to be up at the front because there's more lap cars coming, right? You need to be up here as Luke Green goes through for the lead. You have to be up towards the front to try and get by the lap cars, because if you're a little bit further back and you then get halted again, you might lose the draft from that. So if you're towards the back, you need to get up now pronto, because right here, these guys have draft, though. That's the difference, because the 22 lost the draft. 43 and 33, they're kind of together with the draft. They're going a little bit faster, obviously, than we saw out of the 22.
Plus, they got a pretty decent gap, so by the time they catch them, they might have probably about 90% of these cars back together. As you can see, they're already starting to get 3 by 3 by 3, which is going to slow them up and allow those cars behind them to catch back up even quicker.
Jacob Boyd moves to the front, that 21. Tim Gary's up to second. First time we've called his name here today. Here comes that number 19 of Walker Davis, down in line from this 99 of Keyshawn Richardson, 30 of Kukulai moving on the inside lane, 12 of Mitchell Collins, 5 of Keegan Thompson still up here in the pack with a shot. Jordan Edwards, Jimmy Stammer Jr., and Mitch Corbett. Let's take an update look at where the 31 and the 1 are. Did they latch on? Caden Lynn might be losing it in the 01. There's Evans, and Hernandez has definitely lost it in the 1. 31 probably going to lose it as well.
That's heartbreaking right there for the both of them. They're going to need a caution here real soon, enough to where, they can catch back up, but also, it doesn't end under caution. So, I mean, it could happen, but I don't know if it will.
Yeah, we'll have to see. This front pack, obviously, the later we get, the crazier they're going to start getting, and the more, they're not going to be lifting out of these crazy moves that they've been making.
I mean, that's very true. Joe, I see both your cars up here. Now, I got to ask, as an owner, how does it feel to have both your cars in the front pack, but also in this hornet's nest?
Well, it's quite scary, Trey, I'll be honest. I've been looking out the window. If I can't see my cars from whatever the TV director is showing, I've been looking out the window to make sure they're in a good spot. And so far, just 3 wide I'm fine with. But once you're in, like, the middle of that, start to worry about the 4 wide.
Well, we'll have to see if, your nerves get calmed down any or if they go up. But I have a feeling they're going to go up.
Yeah, I mean, it's the end of the day, it's on the 500, Trey. You know it, back in 93 when you won it, your nerves have to have been sky high in the car as you were looking at the checkered flag coming up, and there's a whole pack of cars behind you trying to make a move.
I don't think I looked out of my front windshield for that last entire lap there. I was a little nervous.
Yeah, I don't doubt that at all. As Keyshawn Merchant definitely looking out the rear view mirror right now as he's out in front. 3 wide for a second. Behind comes Nathan Baird. That 60 car, after winning the duel, he has some pace in that car. He's been making these big moves all race long.
I mean, I just feel like throughout all of this week, the duels and this race, his confidence has just been going up. I mean, that car is a rocket ship. I mean, it's crazy. I'm impressed.
And someone who's also had a really good car in the 500, Eli Bright, the 8, has been making some big moves. There goes Bear for the lead. So that 60 car for Morgan McClure Motorsports, they put together a hot ride for the 60. Obviously, Yepez from that team did miss the 500, but here is Bear trying to, kind of just ease that heartbreak from Yepez to get him a trophy, as here comes Eli Bright also for the lead down the 8 car.
See how long he's going to be able to hold this, if he's going to be able to clear the 60 coming out of turns 3 and 4. He's got help, but the top side has more help. They're a little bit more formed. 66 is going to try to get to the bottom, and he looks like he does.
That was a close move, but luckily it paid off for Corbett. He's now down the inside lane, and we're also catching lap traffic, Trey. I think that's why everyone's so antsy to get down to the inside here.
Well, let's see who learned things and who didn't. Eli Bright's out front this time, and hopefully he's on the bottom if we do end up catching him, and if he's on the top, maybe he learned his lesson and we'll get down a lot sooner.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be a lot more aggressive if he's on the top. Whoever's leading the top lane, though, they have to be aggressive, right? We're down to 13 to go. At this point, you cannot afford to be spread out through the pack and have to then catch back up to the lead draft for the end of the race. Because we're going to catch them within the final 10 laps if there's no yellow flag.
That is true. You also got to remember, like you said, it's 2 lap cars last time we checked together, so they got a little bit more speed compared to what the 22 had, so maybe it won't be as difficult to get around them. Or maybe, if they don't have too much damage, but I believe those are the 2 that spun out during that wreck, they might be able to join in a little bit.
Chris Jericho for the lead on Riley Spurgeon. Spurgeon able to lead that lap in the 28 car. Mitch Corbett coming low, 3 wide help from Roger Ray and Jordan Stout. Corbett for NASCAR Motorsports gets the lead in turns 1 and 2, but the 2 lap cars are looming large. There they are off turn 2, the drivers in the lead pack. Middle of 1 and 2, they're going to catch them with around 11 or 10 to go, and the intensity level definitely going to be ramping up now for these racers. They wonder where to go when we catch these 2 cars.
Now, their spotters are telling them right now every update of who's on the top line, who's in the low line, who's middle, where the lap cars are, what you're going to have to do. I mean, this is crazy. This is like the stock markets. I mean, there's just nonstop talking right now on those radios.
Yeah, it's like the New York Stock Exchange over here. They're they just keep talking to other spotters, talking to their drivers. It's nonstop talking up on that Spire stand. 11 laps to go. 6 and 66 side by side for the lead. Stout on the inside. On the outside, Mitch Corbett coming to help the 6 of Stout. It's the 45 of Ryan Wilson, the 11 of Logan Williams, the 97 of DeLello, the 19 of Davis, Luke Rainey, the 88, his former ride, the 2 of Fitzwater, right behind him, and Brett Sear as well on the inside. As lap traffic still looming large, but once again, they have some decent pace for only 2 cars in the draft.
Yeah, I just saw them as that camera panned out here, so it looks like we might be catching them. I would probably have to say maybe out of 4, maybe on the front stretch, maybe entering 1, somewhere in that range right there. To have to make that guess.
There they are. The pack is coming up on them in a hurry. Jordan Stout leading it. He's hoping he can stay out front single file because, you know, if you're single file, that's when you know you can definitely get around. So maybe for the 45, you're just right behind the 6 until you get to the lap cars.
Well, I'm glad my guess was right with entering 1, so we'll have to see what these guys do. They're going to go high.
Oh, look at he left him!
That's not going to help, though. The lap cars are on the bottom.
Yeah, but does the 33 move up and give the 6 some headache right here? Look at Wilson trying to get to the inside 3 wide!
The 45 and the 19 go out. The 6 is clear up top, though. He's going to gap himself here.
The 45 going to try and side drive. Look, it's going to actually slow them all down. The 6 is going to be away. That's not necessarily a good thing, though.
Yeah, if any of these guys, if a couple of them get past, you know, this lap car here, which the 33 is blocking, so in all honesty, I'm questioning the driver of the 33 here for a second. He might get a talking to because it looks like he's actively trying to block these guys.
Yeah, Benny Lynn might not be the most popular in the garage at the end of the 500. Look at Sierra. He's being aggressive. He has to try and get to the middle here. He can't get caught up.
But, I mean, granted, it doesn't look like these lap cars are slowing them. Well, the 43 at least doesn't look like it's slowing down as much. Looks like he gained, but the 33 is definitely, you know, holding them up a lot.
Look at the run they have on Stout. He had such a big lead. That run was unblockable. And here comes Walker Davis to the inside. Tim Gary with them. Here comes the 9 of Jordan Edwards as well. And the 29 of Justin Atkins, 21 Boyd. They're all coming after that 19.
This is where it gets really, really sketchy here. I mean, these guys are going to make whatever move they can to get themselves out front. You see 2 cars just dive to the bottom at the same exact time to get around the 40. That's Chris Jericho, the 18 there, and the 17 right behind him. Keegan Thompson still back there as well, as I think most of this pack here has managed their way around the 2 lap cars.
Trey, lap cars are not done. Jay Rando.
Oh, no. Oh. Well, I don't like that, Joe.
Yeah, no, that's ominous. Looking ahead of the race there, that is ominous. If you're Edwards, if you're Gary, look at this.
They're
Atkins
catching
trying to get
so
low.
fast.
What are they going to do? They're looking to try and get around. Oh, my goodness.
Go high, maybe, or low, or high. You don't want to let go of the bottom, though. That's the only thing, but...
Yeah.
Oh, they slowed up so much. He's going to
Look
go high.
out.
Both your cars are going to go high, and it's going to allow Tim Gary in the 10 to get down low.
Oh, but look at
the blocked again.
Every lane is blocked behind Rando. Whoa!
Goodness.
Edwards on the outside is going to clear the 22, the 10 wheel as well. It's the middle lane that doesn't go this time.
Who is Keegan Thompson's in that lane, the 19, the Brett Sears in that lane, Eli Bright in that lane. That's some heavy hitters in that middle lane.
Mathis Wells is in there as well, so there are some big names in that middle lane. You have to get lower, get high. But at the front of the field, coming around to 6 to go. It's getting intense at the front. Jacob Boyd's going 3 wide for the lead.
And he's help with Chris Jericho right behind him there. The 29 has no help in the middle. Tim Gary now has no help on the top side there. I mean, the pack's still trying to manage to get around them. They're getting real close back there.
There is a mess with Jay Randall behind it. 3 wide for the lead again. Matthew Burnett to the inside. Mitchell Collins with them. Now he's going to go with Chris Jericho on the 18. Randall now blocks to the top side, gives them inside 2 lanes the gap to get by. As Matthew Burnett leads, his teammate Stout moves through to second as well.
Here comes the 93 to 30, 60 again. Baird is still in this thing. I mean, quite a few heavy hitters are still in this thing, and I mean, I don't know if there's enough time for that backpack to catch back up here.
They really need these guys to get 3 by 3 and start racing each other very aggressively. If that happens, they can get caught up if they stay single file and double file. If not, it's going to be these front cars to have a shot at the win. Last car might be about Kukulan, or excuse me, not Kukulan, Roger Ray. There's a shot at glory in the Daytona 500. Haas up to second. To the inside comes Kukulan. To the inside comes Baird. Behind them, Keyshawn Richardson tries to get up and get with his Roush Racing teammate of the number 6 of Stout. Look at that second pack. They've gotten single filed out. They're definitely catching Trey. You can see it visibly.
Well, we'll have to see what happens, because when this other pack gets in here, this intensity level, Joe, is going to multiply by 10. I mean, we're what, 4 or 5 laps away from the finish of this race, and this second pack is slowly catching. I mean, they're kind of scarce, though.
They are scarce, and that's definitely slowing them down a little bit, but they're still latching onto the draft and getting big runs. I imagine some of the fastest times of the race are being run by these drivers right now because they have the draft. They have a slingshot run coming up onto this draft. You already see Corbett and Mills. They just got the draft. Here they are making big moves to the inside, trying to get by. We're coming back to 4 to go, Trey. There's not much time left in this Daytona 500, and we have 3 of the Roush guys at the front of the field again.
Well, look at this. I mean, I think this is the first time they've been all around each other, and they're at the front of the pack. I mean, this is where you want to be with your teammates.
Oh, 3 wide!
No, Roush Racing.
That's amazing. The 97 DeLello to the inside. 28 Riley Spurgeon goes with them. Here comes Colin Teague in the 40. Moved over from Roush Racing now to that number 40 car. He's on the inside. 44 of Oskin, the rookie, is coming on the inside. Laura Chung as well. I mean, look at the line of cars. They're now caught up to this pack and have a shot at glory.
I mean, most of these guys on the bottom here, we haven't even talked about that much during this race. I mean, that just shows you Daytona, Talladega, super speedways, anyone can win.
Yeah, this is going to come down to the last lap, Trey, I have a feeling. As Riley Spurgeon moves up, that gives the bomb to Colin Teague. Who will time this right as we come back to 3 laps to go? There is still so much time left, 7.5 miles to go.
Looks like most of those guys in the second pack finally caught it. As you can see, the last 2 in this main pack right now are Keegan Thompson and Eli Bright, but I don't think they have enough time to get back up here. It's going to be someone within these first few rows.
Unfortunately, it looks like Matt as well as Fitzwater Sr. both lost the draft, so they're out of the running, but we still have so many cars under a blanket for the win. How fast will the cycle and the shuffle happen, and who will time it right? Laura Chung getting a push from Roger Ray, who's going to push from Corbett, and it's going on back. Look at the Hendrick cars. Are one of them lined up in the right spot, like Zaydell or Sierra? Who will time it right at Daytona? Coming back to 2 to go. Laura Chung on the 23 leads the way.
You would have to think, at this point right now, I mean, I would have to say one of the HMS cars are in a good position. I mean, their teammates back to back, they're 4 or 5 cars 4 or 3 and 4 on that middle line there. They might be in the way to do it, but with these guys so packed, I don't know what could happen.
Yeah, you have to wonder, right, who's going to move up at the right time, who's going to move down at the right time as Corbett leads the way for NASCAR Motorsports. Jose Mills in second. Here comes Zaydell, and here comes Sierra, the 2 Hendrick Motorsports teammates. They're trying to get 3 in a row for Daytona 500 victories as they come back to the white flag this time by. Jose Mills going to keep clear, though. There's 2 smaller cars leading the way.
They were able to hook up top there and keep their momentum going and was still able to get clear to the 24 and the 25, but the real question is, how long are they going to be able to do that with teammates? You can see the 7 diving down low, coming to the white flag.
And Brett left Zaydell. Jose Mills takes the white flag underneath Mitch Corbett. There are 2 smaller teams battling for the win at the front, but there's some bigger teams back behind like Brett Sierra, Luke Rainey, and also here comes the 19 Davis, and here comes the 29 of Atkins on the inside.
What's going to happen down this back stretch is going to be the main question. Who's going to be able to make a move here to get to the front? Who's going to make a block here that saves their race? 19's going to go low. No one else is blocking bottom.
Brett Sierra to the inside, the 25 goes on Jose Mills for the lead. Walker Davis and Atkins have a run at him, but will they have a run off turn number 4? Is the big question to make a move to the inside into the tri-oval.
What's Brett Sierra going to do? Coming off of 4 here, he's going to block the run. Is he going to go high and see if the high line gets? The 19's going to look low. Brett Sierra goes up top.
It's a drag race back to the trigger fight for the Daytona 500. Sierra on the outside wins it. Trey, what an ending to this Daytona 500.
Holy cow, that came to the last second of this race, and Brett Sierra was able to hold off by not even a front bumper.
Yeah, that was close. That was within 2/100ths of a second. What a comeback for Brett Sierra.
Yeah, I mean, injured last season, wasn't able to finish out the season. He was devastated by that. But to come back first race of the season and win the Daytona 500, Joe, I mean, I don't think you could have asked for a better ending.
You also have to go shout out Walker Davis. That was a backup car in the 19. He ends up in second. Jose Mills for the single car Ultra Motorsports led on the last lap, ends up in 4th. Keegan Thompson, Eli Bright were almost out of the draft. They get 5th and 6th. Luke Rennie had a terrible speed weeks, 7th for him. I mean, there were some really, really big names and smaller names that were up towards the front there at the end. But in the end, it was Brett Sierra winning for Motorsports, Trey.
I mean, that was amazing. He timed it. He timed it perfectly. He had help from his teammate in the 24 there, getting him up front. Then once he got up front there, it seems like he was able to pick the right lines. He made the right move at the right time, was able to hold off.
Well, let's go take a look at the finish results from this Daytona 500 2001 season. Starts out with a bang photo finish between Brett Sierra and Walker Davis. Sierra narrowly edges the Evernham Motorsports driver of Davis to win this one. Justin Atkins in 3rd place, was pushing the 19 for all it's worth, but ends up in 3rd. Jose Mills, a great result for that single car team, ends up in 4th, and Keegan Thompson rounds out the top 5. Almost went 3 in a row for that 5 team in Daytona 500, but was maybe a lap away from being able to do that. Eli Bright, same story, in 6th place. Luke Rennie, a great run in 7th. Justin Zaydell, all 300 cars inside the top 8 there at the end. Chris Jericho rallies to get in 9th at the end, and Caden Lynn rounds out the top 10 in the 01. Jimmy Stanford Jr., a great day in 11th place, along with Mitch Corbett in 12th, who was actually leading at the white flag tray. He fell back to 12th after leading.
It just shows you how quickly you can change your position here. You know, one wrong move, you get put to the outside, a bunch of cars go on the bottom, and He loses 10 positions.
Yeah, that was a crazy last lap as we look down beneath the top 20. Look down at some of these bigger names down here that didn't have the days that they were looking for, like Kukulan in 23rd. Nathan Baird, who had a really good car, 25th for him. Unfortunately, it looks like some of the lap cars maybe didn't go his way. You have DeLello and Stout, who were really strong throughout the race. They were the last cars, some of the last cars in the draft along with Riley Sprotube. Wells and Fitz were our first cars out of the draft. Kennington as well lost the draft along with Logan Williams, Noah Clifton, Conrad Evans, and obviously Anthony Hernandez. And then obviously the 26, the 15, the 33 was a lap down along with the 43. Jay Reynolds 2 laps down, the only car out of the race, the number 92 of Baby Ruiz. But Trey, your first points race in the booth, what did you think about it? What an ending to this one.
I think I can get pretty comfortable up here, Joe. I think you're stuck with me for a while.
All right, well, that's good to hear because next week, Trey, it's another one of these crazy racetracks. You know it from last season, the California Speedway for the California 500. We saw last season, Trey, turn 3, lap 1 incident. What do you think we're going to see next week?
Well, same thing. I mean, fun racing. We're going to go from the beaches of the East Coast. We're going to go to the West Coast. I'm ready to, I think we're going to go have some fun, go party a little bit with the drivers here, and see some great racing to end out the week.
I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun out there in the West Coast in California. Last season, Lathan Strickland won for Andy Peacher Racing, one of those teams that we didn't expect to win last season. Well, he got it done, so it seems like it's another one of those wild card tracks. We'll see if another wild card team can get it done in Fontana in just a week's time. Thanks everyone for watching JRTV's presentation of the 2001 Daytona 500. Tune in next week for the California 500 at the Fontana Speedway. Trey Bardo, I'm Joe Rakowski. We'll see you guys then.